Good evening. I'm Dave Chrysler, Director of Training for the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy. On behalf of the Academy, Class of 2021, welcome to this year's Police Basic School graduation. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone that the mask is not necessary in the open area. You're more than welcome to wear it. It's a little bit warm. There's plenty of seating here. If you're not related to people with you, you want to space out a little bit, you can move to wherever you want. Otherwise, you'll be comfortable in a second. Excuse me, please feel free to take photographs at any time during this ceremony, including walking forward into the pit. We only ask that you observe proper social distancing. Sergeant Canandaigua, please present Class 2020. Thank you. That was Mr. Peter Cheney, Dulles, New York. Thank you again. Now, Deputy Sheriff Kyle Meek, please come forward to sing the national anthem. On a side note, Deputy Meek is also a member of Class 2021, but he's also a captain in the New York State National Guard. As he sings the national anthem, if uniformed members would salute and face the flag to my left. Deputy Meek.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Deputy Meek. I think in 1961, the U.S. Army had Elvis Presley, and in 2021, Ontario County's got Kyle Meek. Before we have our invocation, I would just like to say that the former director of Finger Lakes Law Enforcement, who preceded me, was retired lieutenant from the RPD, Charles Chick Kerner. He passed away Thursday. He left this position that he loved because he was terminally ill. And we're all sorry to see him go. It won't be the same without him, and I'll miss buying his lunch. So let's keep him in mind during the invocation.
Shall we pray? God, I thank you for the privilege to be alive and here with these great people this evening. Holy God, I come here to pray for these new recruits and the agencies which they will serve. Firstly, I thank you that you grant these men and women the courage that they will need in the days ahead. They will go where others cannot go, so please protect them. Grant each officer the strength of mind to understand what is actually happening in any situation they might encounter. I thank you for the dedication and the stamina of each person who has shown their strength during this initial training. And as they begin to serve in their new positions, grant that they might adjust well. Help each individual to keep their private family life and their employment in proper balance. Let them not become jaded by the evil that they see, but help them also see the good in humanity. Help them recognize that they are indeed ministers for good. Help each person to remember that anyone can call upon you at any fearful time when your protection is needed. And I also pray for the leadership of each agency here. Give the leaders of each agency the wisdom that they need to deal with the difficult issues. There are some in our culture who want to defund them. Defeat those actions, I pray. There have been laws and mandates passed that tie the hands of our officers. I pray for repeal of any foolish statute. Please raise up many more students next year so that the need will be met. And if anyone in the sound of my voice or a family member of people here are struggling, please overshadow them and comfort them. And if any are sick, I pray your healing hand will be upon them. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Cotter. At this time, I would ask everyone to be seated. Yates County Sheriff Ron Spike will be delivering our welcoming remarks. Sheriff Spike has served and protected the people of Yates County for 50 years and has been their sheriff for 29 of those 50 years. He is also the chairman of the New York State Municipal Police Training Council. In addition, Sheriff Spike is the longest sitting member of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Training Committee. We are very fortunate to have him and the experience he brings. Ladies and gentlemen, Yates County Sheriff Ron Spike.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen and family members, chiefs and sheriffs, distinguished guests, academy staff, my fellow police officers, and all the new graduating police officers, good evening to you all and welcome to the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Training Academy 2021 graduation here at CMAC on the FLCC campus. What a great venue to have this important event in. It is an honor to be here with you this evening on this special day of accomplishment for these graduating new police officers. Police training has evolved over the years, and yet some things, like to protect and serve, have remained constant. But many changes have come about as we are seemingly challenged by a negativity with the perception of some people with the American police officer. It was Calvin Coolidge who once said that no one is compelled to choose the profession of a police officer, but once chosen, everyone is obliged to live up to the standards of the requirements for that position. When I and several others on the stage started law enforcement careers, we did not have to learn about synthetic drugs or administering Narcan or human trafficking, didn't know about ignition interlocks, social media or cybercrime, or the demands of managing digital evidence, wearing body armor, having a body camera on our uniform, or carrying a taser. But with the police reform mandates and other reforms, there are even more issues we need to train for, like understanding implicit and racial bias, cultural diversity, persons with disabilities, procedural and restorative justice, proper use of force, including no chokeholds, de-escalation techniques, and discovery evidence reforms, expansion of civil rights, crisis intervention, especially with the mentally ill, cultural diversity, videotaping, custodial interrogations, and several other new issues. Yet these are the times we are living in, and our new police officers must be able to do more than just operate a smartphone or a computer to meet the challenges of conserving the peace and interacting with others, understanding proper communication skills. These new officers are basically ready to face the challenges of modern law enforcement with the rigors of the job, having experienced over 1,000 hours of basic training, classroom, physical fitness, the firearms range, emergency vehicle operation, and extended use of scenario and reality-based training. They are disciplined and well-educated in the laws and procedures, even though those laws continue to expand. They understand the synergy of teamwork and, most importantly, the solid ethical awareness required to be accountable as a public servant these days. So on behalf of the Academy chiefs and sheriffs and command staff, we first want to give a shout out and thanks to all the instructors, as some are here present tonight. They are the backbone of this academy. And we also thank a dedicated school director, retired Chief David Chrysler, who has been outstanding in his leadership and his commitment to excellence. And I would be remiss not to thank the County of Ontario and Sheriff Henderson and his staff for all their academy support. And of course, our Training Academy board chairman is Sheriff Barry Virts, who is retiring at the end of this year with a stellar career in law enforcement. I say this to Sheriff Virts, on behalf of the Academy, you have our gratitude for your public safety and law enforcement leadership service. Thank you, Sheriff. Yes, let's do that. To the new police officers, please know that effective policing does not just magically result from your basic training. There must be a mutual respect between you and the community you will serve. You will practice more than you realize something called discretion and good judgment, and you will come to understand that justice comes in many forms. Yes, it can come from jail, but it can also come without bars, when sometimes just a word of counseling or warning will be the justice that's required for a particular situation. Please know that no doubt sometime in your career, you will save a life, or many lives for that matter, by putting your own on the line, because this is what you have been called to do. Never fail to remember that your families, which many times include the brotherhood and sisterhood of your fellow officers, will be and will remain your greatest assets of all. They will be there through the best of times and the worst of times. Treat them as the gems that they are as you face the challenges ahead. And to all the guests in the audience here this evening, how good it is to see representatives from municipalities, fellow officers, and all the family members and friends that have come here. This is a significant event for this graduation, and for you taking the time to support these new officers is really a good thing. Please continue that support, for they will not always show you the emotions that they feel, what they have witnessed, or what they've experienced in different crime scenes, death investigations, traffic collisions, drug overdoses, domestic violence, or even child abuse. So we welcome everyone here tonight and welcome these graduates to this noble profession. Yes, noble. A word that you don't hear often said nowadays, but certainly one worthy of this occasion. Let me conclude with a quote from the only U.S. president to have ever been a county sheriff, and that was from Erie County, New York, no less, Grover Cleveland, who said, "Unswerving loyalty to duty, constant devotion to truth, and a clear conscience will overcome every discouragement and surely lead the way to usefulness and high achievement. Congratulations to all of you graduating, and good luck to these officers as you move forward in your careers. Stay smart, stay alert, stay safe. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Spike. Very inspiring once again. I don't know how long these gloves are going to stay on. Before we move on, I would like to take a few moments to introduce the dais and personally thank those who helped make this graduation possible. To my left and right, we have both police executives and participants in tonight's ceremony. It is their leadership and experience that guides our academy. As I introduce each dignitary, I would ask that you please hold your applause until all have been introduced. To my immediate left in the front row, Sheriff Barry Virts, Wayne County Sheriff Office, Chairman of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Training Committee. Next to him, to his left, would be Ginny Clark, President of the Board of Directors, Friends of CMAC, Executive Director, Sands Family Foundation. To her left, Dr. Sim Covington, Jr., Finger Lakes Community College. Next to him, to his left, is Sheriff Ron Spike, who you just heard, from Yates County Sheriff's Office. Unfortunately, Chief Pasalacqua from Geneva had a police matter and could not be here tonight. To the far left would be Major Barry Chase, Troop E Commander, New York State Police. To my immediate right front row, Sheriff Brian Schenk, Canandaigua County Sheriff's Office. To his right, Sheriff Thomas Doherty, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. To his right, Sheriff Kevin Henderson, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. To his right, Chief Deputy Kip Goodman, Seneca County Sheriff's Office. Chief Thomas Dunham, Penyan Police Department. To his right, Chief Jason Godley, Waterloo Police Department. Second row to my immediate left, Sergeant Ryan Burnett is not here today. He has a police matter he's handling. Next in line would be Chief Stephen DeChick, the 911 Center Manager, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. To his left, Investigator Sam Colburn, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. To my right, second row, Lieutenant Tate Colburn, retired, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Next to his right would be Reverend Kevin Cotter, who you heard during the invocation. To his right, Deputy Seth Jones, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. And to the far right, second row, Mr. Kevin Heron, representing the George Heron family. Could I hear you? Let's welcome them all here. As Sheriff Spike said, another feature that makes this academy unique is our faculty. Instructors are working police officers from police agencies throughout our 6-county region. They are dedicated officers who carry full workload while still preparing lesson plans and teaching well beyond their normal shift. Each instructor is certified by the state of New York. Their years of experience in education provides our recruits with a solid foundation that will carry them to a safe and successful career. Some are here tonight, and if you would please stand, if you're one of our instructors. I think we have some on the dais too. Let's give them a hand for their service. And thank you. I would be remiss if I forgot Betty Rose Chardine, Confidential Secretary to Wayne County Sheriff Barry Virts. Betty Rose could not be here tonight for personal reasons, but we depend on her administrative support. We could never move the ship without help from Betty Rose. Please, Sheriff, take this back to Betty Rose and thank her for all that she does. In working here tonight are my 2 assistant directors. I often refer to them as my right arm. They are Sergeant Mark Taylor of the Ontario County Sheriff's Office and Sergeant Craig Pignotti of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. You will see them tonight working on stage to ensure this ceremony goes off without a glitch. Their leadership, knowledge, and experience has helped to develop these young men and women into the professional law enforcement officers that they are. And on behalf of myself and Class 2021, we want to thank them. And the family. To the family and friends of Class 2021, a special thanks for the support you have given them and will continue to give them as your loved ones begin their new careers and a new way of life. Your support and encouragement is as necessary for their overall success as their training in the police academy. It will be you that will be most important in helping them through their future challenges, and we thank you for that. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize, not by name because I'd get it wrong, the many uniformed people that we couldn't fit on this dais that are to my right. We've got undersheriffs and chiefs and from the area law enforcement, villages, cities, and counties. So thank you very much for coming. And I did notice Dan Dijon over to my left. Thanks, Dan. Now let me say a few moments to speak to our graduating class. The Police Basic School is composed of 30 weeks of training to include academics, skills training, and field training. I have spent most of that time learning about you and ensuring that what you were taught was the necessary information to guide you through your future career in law enforcement. I know for many it was 29 weeks more than you may have wanted, but you endured and absorbed more information than one can imagine. As I stand here today, I can tell you I'm proud of each and every one of you. On February 8th, 2021, you came here as young men and women. Many sat in the academy classroom wondering if you had made the right decision. I'm sure that many of you were more than a bit concerned as to what you could expect. However, you were tested to the point of collapse, and here you are today, still young men and women, but now you know what courage is all about. You have the knowledge to go forward and the strength to provide safety and security to the citizens of New York. Each of you started as an individual, but ended as a team. Your parents, spouses, and friends can be very proud of you, as we all are. When you leave this stage and call into service for the first time, remember what you've learned. Always be professional in life, be respectful of others regardless of their status, and lead by example. Take care of yourself, your families, and above all else, each other. I can't be prouder of you. Now, on behalf of Class 2021, I invite the class representative, Deputy Sheriff Bradley H. Little, to come forward and speak. Deputy Little is the only one in the class that smiles.
Good evening. I would like to thank the director for allowing me to take this opportunity to speak to everybody. As class representative for class of 2021, we'd like to thank the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy Committee, sponsoring agencies, honored guests, invited family, friends, and area law enforcement representatives for being here with us tonight. It is certainly an honor to stand before my classmates and tell you how thrilled we are to be here tonight. Now, as you're aware, 2020 and even parts of 21 gave me a plethora of topics to talk about, negative and positive. I had maybe 5, 6 different introductions I typed up discussing various topics society is facing, and I felt myself hitting the backspace a lot. Today is the start of our careers, a new opportunity. Today should be positive and enlightening. Today marks a milestone for the 13 of us. Today, we should be all very proud of ourselves. On February 8th, 2021, we all filed into the parking lot of FLLEA at 8 a.m., or 0800 as we quickly learned it to be. We all awkwardly stared at different strangers, just hoping one of us would make the first move to the door. Little did we know, these 13 strangers would be part of a giant family. Upon meeting the director, first thing we immediately could tell, he was extremely intelligent and full of police knowledge from years of experience. The type of man, when he speaks, you listen. And this quickly became the theme amongst us. With a paramilitary style academy, the stress and nerves immediately set in. Every recruit brought a different level of experience, anywhere from past law enforcement, a military background, a bachelor's degree, or a combination thereof. Feeling extremely studious, we hit the books hard and began our adventure. Once the parameters were set for the notebooks, we took them like a Bible. Classroom days consists of notes, advice, lectures, and various topics, and many war stories. The journey we took over the last 7 months was not easy, nor did we expect it to be. Being on site at the Phelps Community Center at 6:15 a.m. for PT, it took a bit of getting used to. With winter temperatures in the teens, snow, wind, and sometimes rain, it became man over matter. The mental fight was one of our toughest battles. For those of us who came in a bit softer on the midsection like myself, we had to push a little bit harder to be better. First, there was the initial PT test to see how soft we were. Then halfway through, another test to see how much we had improved. Then the final, and we were animals. Sleek and fast, especially Deputy Page. As far as I was concerned, Jason Page was the fastest man alive, gazelle-like, if you will. Then every Friday, it was defensive tactics. All day with Sergeant Burnett and his staff. Tough, it's an understatement, but man, does Sergeant have pride in what he does. No matter what you might think of PT, defensive tactics pushed our limits, but we all knew it was something that was crucial for us to learn to protect ourselves out on the field. Learning techniques and ways to control people that we never knew existed. Thank you, Sergeant Burnett, for your dedication. But it was far from over. The dreaded pepper spray was yet to come, and we knew enough about it. We knew it was going to be bad. First, a small sprint, followed by jumping jacks, sprayed with pepper spray, over to punch a knee a bag, and finally, to handcuff a fellow recruit. All while our nose were on fire and mucus was running out of every opening in our face. Time for decontamination, or Sergeant Taylor hosed us off. It helped a little. It was terrible. Now, Mr. Steele, the good-looking, red-headed, fair-skinned individual that he is, got numerous of warnings from various instructors how his complexion was not ideal for pepper spray. Well, wouldn't you know it? Steele took pepper spray as if he was actually made of steel. In firearms training, most of us had some experience with a gun, but soon found out it was not just a gun, it's a weapon, and safety comes first. Lieutenant Colburn made sure we knew the level of responsibility carrying a weapon brought. A little slip-up resulted in many laps around the range in full gear as a subtle reminder that this wasn't to be taken lightly. Boy, were we nervous on qualification day. Our bad days of shooting seemed to weigh heavily in on our minds as we stepped up to the line to begin. But our training would take over. Clear sight picture, smooth steady trigger pull, boom. Onto rifle familiarization, and then that crazy shotgun that Director Chrysler thought was the best weapon in the arsenal. Then came EVOC, or Emergency Vehicle Operation Course. This was fun. Held at the old Seneca Army Depot airstrip, we were allowed to finally feel like police. Something about the engine climbing in RPMs and sirens going in the background just gets your adrenaline going. Deputy Seth Jones and staff taught us to be safe while driving fast through cones set up into serpentine lines. Both forward and backwards, those were the fun days. Lights, sirens, and tire squealing. But let's not forget about the delicious lunches Barbecue Burke whisked us up every day. But days of certification was sitting in the back of all our minds. What a shocking day that turned out to be. But over with quickly, a mere 5 seconds, which did feel like 5 minutes, still superseded pepper spray that took hours to recover from. Finally, we are RBT, which stands for a few things. Reality-based training, or Ryan Burnett training, as Sergeant Burnett often refers to it. Everybody had questions about this, but once again, Lieutenant Colburn, Sergeant Burnett, and numerous staff that led us through really crazy scenarios, which made us use everything we had learned to resolve the situation without injuring anyone. It was all exciting to finally apply all of our skills and knowledge to these scenarios. But there were those times where things would go bad, and out came the firing simulations. Boy, did we learn fast then. Paying compliance is a good way to learn quickly. It was a tough week. It was also a hot week, but we really dared to learn a lot about policing. My hat is off to all the instructors that came out and acted out different scenarios. You all deserve an Oscar. As I look back, I can't tell you how fast the time went. Hours felt long, but the weeks flew by. Maybe it's because we had so many courses in between the major blocks. Courses like penal law, criminal procedural law, vehicle and traffic law, criminal investigation, and so much more. My class can't thank the instructors enough for getting through this, but some say it was that pot of Folgers I made every day that kept everybody awake. But now that we're at the end of our basic training and the beginning of our careers, to all the instructors, our families, our spouses, who had to get up at 3 a.m. so we could make the bed to take a picture of, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, thank you for the support. We truly could not have done this without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Little. It was nicely done. Some might think that I put that line in there about myself, but I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker is coming up next, and I'm very honored to introduce him. As 16-year veteran of the State University of New York, Dr. Sim J. Covington Jr. tenure is well established, relocating to New York's Capital District to begin his undergraduate and graduate studies at the University of Albany. Sim went on to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology, a Master of Science in Rehabilitation Counseling, a Certificate of Advanced Study in School Counseling, and a Master of Science in Educational Administration and Policy Studies. His professional career started at his alma mater as the Assistant Director Internship Coordinator for the University at Albany Career Development Center, where he also served in the Advisement Services Center for Undergraduate Studies. A proud 6-time graduate of the SUNY system, Sim went on to complete his MBA in Technology Management at SUNY Polytech Institute, as well as his Advanced Graduate Certificate in Human Resource Management at Empire State College. For his doctoral training, Sim completed his EDD in Higher Education Administration at Northeastern University in Boston, Massachusetts. In 2018, Sim joined Finger Lakes Community College as their Chief Diversity Officer and is responsible for supporting all aspects of diversity, equity, and inclusion within various segments of the institution. Since his hire, diversity applicants for employment have increased 50% at the college. As an adjunct professor in the Department of Social Sciences, Sim continues to promote intellectual curiosity and social justice. In spring 2021, Sim was brought on as a trainer to conduct bias training for the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy. In that short time, he has successfully partnered with the county, city, and village police departments throughout the Finger Lakes region. In addition to working with several city governments, school districts, and addiction counseling groups, Sim has found the time to assist with the upcoming Citizens Police Academy offered by Ontario County Sheriff Kevin Henderson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big welcome for Dr. Sim J. Covington, Jr.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's try that one more time. Good afternoon. All right, there we go. So first and foremost, I stand here with the highest level of humility. I had the opportunity to engage the class of 2021 for implicit bias training. And we actually had a good time. I'm an individual who stands here before you who always says that social justice should not be a scapegoat for personal accountability. In regards to having conversations with these wonderful officers, I'm very happy to have the opportunity to be the keynote for today's festivities. To the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy, local officials, honored guests, family, friends, colleagues, and most importantly, the class of 2021, I am truly humbled and honored to stand here before you today as the keynote for this momentous occasion. For the past several months, I've been invited to work with several law enforcement agencies and to engage in meaningful conversations to get a deeper understanding of the profession, as well as its tumultuous environment that occasionally reflects the work. For some of you, you enter this profession as a legacy, following the footsteps of your dad, your mom, aunt, uncle, cousin, godparent, etc. For others, you are the trailblazer for your family, being the first to proudly wear the badge. As you all embark on this new journey in life and marvel at the fact that you actually made it through the academy, first and foremost, let's take this time to be proud. Be proud that you have decided to enter a profession steeped in integrity, valor, courage, and character. Be proud that you have completed a rigorous process where many others have failed. Be proud that your line of work is committed to creating a safe space for individuals from all backgrounds, including race, gender, class, sexuality, ability, religion, and more. Be proud that your involvement in the profession can change the face of law enforcement for the communities you serve. Making the decision to put on the badge and to work in law enforcement today is not only admirable, but significantly needed. With changes in both our national and local climates, leadership is severely needed in order to restore trust, to maintain order, and to restore faith in those who are sincerely invested in the duty to protect and serve. Let me spend a little bit of time on that last phrase, because I think that if you put real out there, you have to be willing to deal with a real response. Protect and serve should not equate, repeat, should not equate to being abused verbally or physically just because you are behind the badge. Protect and serve should not equate to the implicit bias of those in our community automatically labeling you as racist, homophobic, sexist, or abusive. Protect and serve should not equate to your agency being held responsible for negative infractions that your agency did not partake in. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., may we all continue the recommendation that we judge people by the content of their character versus the color of their skin. Simultaneously, wearing the badge also does not give anyone immunity when it comes to abusing a power in the community. Never diminish yourself or the badge you have and the privilege you have to wear that badge daily. Ultimately, the goal in law enforcement is to lead by example and the guarding of the welfare of all human beings. As I have the responsibility to serve as your keynote today, it is only right that I practice due diligence regarding the world you are stepping into. It's a world of a brotherhood, a sisterhood, and fraternalism. It's a world of loyalty and protection. It's a world of camaraderie and lightheartedness at times, but it's also a world of serious business. As we have seen over the past couple of years, a shift in the American landscape have led to many hating those who are behind the badge simply because they work in law enforcement. This hate takes place without taking the time to get to know or understand you as individuals. This hate takes place without understanding the full context of the situations that may arise in the line of duty. And this hate takes place via the targeting of law enforcement professionals to spew that hate against them and their loved ones. According to the New York State Department of Criminal Justice Services, procedural justice entails legitimacy and process. Legitimacy. The public views the police as entitled to exercise authority in order to maintain social control, manage conflicts, and solve problems in the community. Unfortunately, as many of you have seen, everyone does not buy into the legitimacy of law enforcement. We have a lot of rogue agents who are doing whatever they want to fight against law enforcement, which is extremely unfortunate. Process. The process used by officers when citizens are treated fairly and with proper respect as human beings. Equipped with the new skills that you have learned in the academy, and as you speak from the heart regarding your sacred oath, I encourage you all to remain dedicated, which I've turned into an acronym. D, be devoted to a high level of professionalism. Make sure you take the time to fully understand the laws you are intended to enforce. This will keep you on top of your game and protect your agency as well as your job in the long run. E, be enthusiastic about educating yourself on best practices for your profession. In addition to what you have learned in the academy, speak to your seasoned officers who have experience on the job. Please be advised that there are many people who hold bad intentions out there, right? And they will be sizing you up to take advantage of you at every occasion. Stay sharp, stay attentive. D, be determined to rise above the complacency you may find in others around you. At any professional organization, you will come across those who have a bitter undercurrent of hostility, either due to a personal issue or feeling professionally wrong. Every day will not be a walk in the park, but don't adopt a cynical attitude that's saturated in negativity. Very important, be invested in your own self-care. Remember to take care of yourself physically and to eat healthy. If your agency provides a gym membership, take advantage of this opportunity. In any scenario where you might have to fight for your life, it is your job to be as prepared as possible. In addition to the physical, take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Learn to manage your emotion when others are attempting to get a rise out of you, because it will happen. Take care of your mental health, to include anger, anxiety, and depression. And take care of yourself spiritually. If you are not religious, I would highly recommend mindfulness and breathing techniques to successfully manage your blood pressure as well as your stress levels. C, be compassionate, as everyone has a story and people come from different walks of life. Remember, privilege means there are some things that some people have to think about that other people do not have to think about. A, be astute as you navigate the political landscape of your organization and your agency. Organizational culture are the written rules and policy that govern an organization. But there are also unwritten rules and policy that you will pick up through observational learning. Adopt the good, discard the bad. One's understanding of the political landscape can lead to a promotion or course you want. T, be teachable and always willing to learn. Always remain humble and open to constructive feedback. E, be empathetic to the lives of your fellow officers. Sometimes the stress of the job can lead to substance abuse, family issues, depression, and more. Therefore, be sure to not only take care of yourself, but lend a hand to your fellow officers as well. And last but not least, D, be discreet when someone confides in you. The last thing you would like to be known as is the office gossip. Be selective in what you disclose and be sure to keep the confidence of officers around you who share with you things in a personal situation. Always be sure to engage your community to make positive investments. Practice foot patrol. Get to know people in your community. And remember to reset, reset, reset. When you have a negative interaction in the line of duty, don't hold the whole world accountable for the behavior of a select few. Uphold the rights of those in the community you serve, as well as the integrity of your agency. Remember those who have taken an oath before you as you join a community of millions who are protecting the then blue line, and it should be your passion to fight against injustice, crime, and community threats in a fair and equitable fashion. In the words of your fellow officers in the line of duty from the Mississippi Highway Patrol, think like a winner. If you change your thoughts, you can change your beliefs. If you change your beliefs, you can change your expectations. If you change your expectations, you can change your attitude. And if you change your attitude, you can change your behavior. If you change your behavior, you can change your performance. And if you change your performance, you can change your life and the life of others. As you take on your new job, I would like to congratulate you all and say congratulations to the class of 2021. Thank you very much.
So we first met Dr. Covington at our November meeting in Palmyra. And as soon as we heard him speak with Executive Order 203 by Governor Cuomo and police reform, this was a guy that we needed to get on our staff. And this was a guy that we needed to come to our individual agencies and talk about equity, diversity, and inclusion. And you have done everything. You have provided that to us. We thank you very much. Everyone on this stage thanks you, our recruits, their families. You have made our policing better. You have made our understanding of our communities better. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Although each and every one in the class of 2021 should be applauded for his or her individual efforts, there are some exceptional achievements that we would like to recognize tonight, and that's where our presentation of awards comes in. I would like to start with interpersonal skills and defensive tactics. Our recruits receive over 100 hours in this area of training. The instructors strive in developing strong communication and human relations skills, along with officer safety tactics. Instructors focus on proficiency and reality-based training, teaching practical applications and resolving conflicts quickly and in a safe manner, both for the officer and the adversary. Sergeant Ryan Burnett, who's the team leader for defensive tactics, could not be here tonight. So Sergeant Mark Taylor is going to fill in for him and present the award. Sergeant Taylor.
The recipient of the Defensive Tactics Award for class of 2021 is Reagan Mayer.
Thank you, Sergeant Taylor, and congratulations, Deputy Mayor. Emergency medical service. Many times police officers are the first at the scene where people are injured. The officer that finds themselves in dual roles of assisting the injured while still responsible for investigating the incident. Officers not only need investigative skills, but also the knowledge and training to help the injured. I would ask that Chief Stephen DeChick, County 911 Operations Center Manager, please come forward to present the award.
Thank you, Director. Well, I'm honored to be the one standing up here. The real credit goes to those who assist me in teaching this course. The biggest contributor to this year's class was Sergeant Sebastian Gentile of the Seneca Falls Police Department, who's in the audience tonight. Sergeant Gentile coordinated the class this year and did a great job doing so. A special thanks also goes out to Seneca Falls Police Chief Stu Peenstra, who for years has assigned Sergeant Gentile to the Academy for the entire class. I also want to thank the following people who assisted with teaching and evaluating this year. They are firefighter Del Parada from the Geneva Fire Department, Sergeant Christopher Foster of the Ontario County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Dana Egbertson of the Ontario County Sheriff's Office, Officer Jacob D. Chick of the Seneca Falls Police Department, and Deputy Matthew Pickey of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office. All the instructors above are also past or current volunteer EMTs in their community. Every year we recognize the cadet who worked the hardest to become #1 in the class, to learn all those life-saving skills that Director Chrysler mentioned. This year's recipient of the First Responder Award goes to Deputy Colin McGuigan of the Ontario County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Chief DeChick, and congratulations, Deputy McGuigan. Next is physical fitness. The ability to perform the frequent physical tasks of law enforcement requires knowledge, skill, and physical agility. If our officers are not in excellent physical condition, they will not be able to meet the challenges they encounter. We have 2 awards in this field, the most improved student and our top student. I would like to introduce Investigator Sam Colburn of the Ontario County Sheriff's Office to present the awards. Now, before you do this, investigator, I gotta say, the team leader was Detective Investigator Andrew Harris. He's held the record for the fastest 1.5 mile run for many years, and he still runs fast. His nickname is Hare, and it's unbelievable, but this is a true story. We were all had our money on the winner here, but what happened is we got out there and it was a freak morning that morning, and the track had ice on it. And I went out there and I said, Detective Investigator, I said, this is going to slow him down. And he had this glow in his eyes, like, I know. So, true story. Okay, Investigator Colburn. First award is for the top overall student in physical fitness.
Deputy Reagan Mayer, Ontario County Sheriff's Office.
The second award is for the most improved student.
Brianna Shepard, Seneca County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Investigator Colburn, and congratulations to Deputy Mayor and Deputy Shepard. Deputy Shepard is like the Energizer Bunny. She never stops. The next big one is for firearms. Obviously, the skill with firearms is crucial to the law enforcement profession. We emphasize safety, situational awareness, and proficiency. I would like to call Lieutenant Tate Colburn of the Ontario County Sheriff's Office to present the awards. And before we do it, could we line some people up? There's several here. And I would like to start with Riley Burke, if you could come in this order, and just hold to the stage. Reagan Mayer, Colin McGuigan, Caleb Nellis, Jason Page, and Daniel Steele.
As I watched Officer Steele walk across the stage, gives a little tug. His father and I went to basic school together, so it's kind of a full circle kind of thing. So I'm the team leader for the firearms section of the academy, and I've got to say that the cadre of instructors that we have come from all the agencies. And I have to extend my thanks to all the chiefs and sheriffs for allowing those individuals to come on a daily basis to help instruct these fine individuals. This is a mandatory pass section. They have to score a minimum of 80. They have 3 opportunities. They have to average an 80 out of those 3. Each round is worth 2 cumulative points. If they don't pass at the end of the last Friday, the qualification, they don't come back to work on Monday. We start out 3 yards out to 25 yards. First thing we teach them is classroom Article 35, use of justification. We break them down, get their duty belts set up. We make sure that the DT guys have them set up how we want them for them to be able to function on the range. We talk about range safety all the time. Firearm safety, we talk about locks and safes and what are they going to do with that firearm when they bring it home if they carry it home every day? Because they're responsible for that. They're responsible for everything that goes on with that weapon. We talk about fundamentals, grip, stance, sight alignment, sight picture, trigger control. We talk about breath control, holster work, getting the weapon out of the holster when you need it as quickly as possible without all herky-jerky stuff. We talk about, and we have them fire multiple rounds, because it isn't like in the movies where one round might stop that adversary that's trying to hurt you or another person. We use dummy rounds. We use multiple targets. They're engaging multiple targets. Again, we shoot from a distance actually of 1 foot out to about 50 yards. And then once we get them back up to the 25, which is where they qualify from the 3-yard line back to the 25, shooting from the 50, and then move up to the 25, it's like, oh boy, that target just got twice as big. Makes it easier to hit. We do shooting and moving, tactical decision making, force on force. And the force on force we did in the reality-based training with simunition, which is similar to paintballs, but it's basically the weapon systems that they carry. We did a night shoot. Deputy Little kind of mentioned something about fines and inappropriate behavior on the range. If they did something that maybe wasn't intentional, but it was a safety violation or whatever, then they would be fined appropriately. And we told them that the fines that we started getting harder and harder on them as the week progressed, because it was getting warmer and warmer out, and the instructors wanted ice cream sundaes and the last day. So that's how we were going to finance that, was with their fine money. Well, that wasn't true. They had, actually it wasn't too bad this year, but because the class was a little bit smaller, they ended up with $68 in fines. Thank you, Deputy Meek. He wasn't all of it, believe me. So what I did is I gave the money to the class and I said, you tell me what you want to do with this money. I'm giving it to you after you decide. We've had classes that have split the money. They had a party for themselves. We've had them donate it to different organizations and whatnot. So I said, here, have at it. The other day at rehearsal, I asked, so what did you do with the $68 that was donated? And they said, well, LT, it actually ended up being $384. They added some money to it, and they donated it to an organization called Blue Help, which deals with police mental health and suicide prevention. So, good job, good job. Okay, so as I said, they shoot the 2 points. They end up with pins. All of them are wearing pins for shooting. Some are marksmen. One of the class is a marksman. That's from 80 to 85. The next group up is our sharpshooters, 86 to 91. Our expert shooters are 92 to 97. And then our masters are 98 to 100. So I'd like to congratulate all of them, and they've since, received all of their pins. And now we would like to give them what we call the 100 Club. So on the final day of qualification, any of them that shot a 100 score will receive a ceramic mug with a seal on it for the 100 Club. So the folks on my immediate left here have all achieved that. If you want to read off the names.
Riley J. Burke, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Reagan V. Mayer, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Colin J. McWigan, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Caleb A. Nellis, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Jason R. Page, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Daniel J. Steele, Waterloo Police Department.
So now we have what we call our Top Gun. Top Gun is the person that on the final day, the accumulated score, they had the highest average. So our Top Gun this year is Jason R. Page, Livingston County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colburn. Congratulations to Deputy Page, Deputy Burke, Deputy Mayor, Deputy McWigan, Deputy Nellis, and Officer Steele. Emergency vehicle operation. I see everybody smiling on that one. Another critical skill for an officer is to operate a vehicle safely while driving. I would like to introduce Ontario County Sheriff's Deputy Seth Jones for some remarks and a very special award.
Thank you. I'm Deputy Jones, lead instructor for EVOC. EVOC's a fun course. Object is to not hit any cones through the obstacle course. So the award today is for the officer, the recruit that hit the most cones. That's Deputy Page, Livingston County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, Deputy Jones. I think the Deputy Page got confused after shooting all those targets. He thought he was supposed to run the numbers up. Next to come the academics, and as director, I have the honor of doing this. And it might seem like we spend all of our time running, shooting, and driving. Well, not so. We spend the bulk of our time in the classroom. And I probably don't have to tell you that the class was just as competitive inside as they were outside. I have the honor of presenting the academic award. This award is based upon test scores, outside assignments, and the student's notebook. This year's top academic award goes to Colin J. McGuigan, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Next, I have the pleasure of recognizing those recruit officers who volunteered to take on additional responsibilities that enhance the professionalism and safety of the class, known as the Director's Class Recognition Award. To save time, would the following recruit officers come forward and stand at the top of the stage ramp in the order I call? Brianna Shepard, John Babcock, Riley Burke, Kyle Meek, Reagan Mayer, Eladio Martinez. Brianna Shepard, please come forward. In appreciation for exemplary work and assistance in ensuring the functionality of the Academy computer equipment and making each lesson plan available to all members of the class, I present this letter of recognition. It was no small task, because when I need somebody to fix a computer, I look for a fifth grader. Fortunately, I had Brianna. John R. Babcock, Seneca County Sheriff's Office, please come forward. Deputy John Babcock was entrusted with the class medical supply bag and Heart Start electronic defibrillator and carried it during the entire time that Class 2021 was engaged in training. He carried this heavy equipment wherever the class went. Most importantly, he was always following me, and I don't know why. In appreciation for your service and exemplary work in ensuring the functionality of the medical equipment entrusted to you, I award to you this letter of recognition. Riley J. Burke, Ontario County Sheriff's Office, please come forward. In appreciation for your exemplary work and dedication in producing a video history of the blood, sweat, and tears so willingly given by Class 2021, I present this letter as a token of my gratitude and that of your classmates for ensuring the challenges and hardships the class went through will be remembered for decades to come. Deputy Kyle C. Meek, Ontario County Sheriff's Office, please come forward. During the first week of the academy, no doubt the most stressful week, you were appointed the class captain. With COVID-19 at its peak, it was necessary to establish rules and instructions to keep the classroom and building areas sanitized at all times. You did just that while setting the standard for those class captains that followed. In addition, it came to light that you had a 4-year degree in music and volunteered to perform one of the most difficult tunes to sing, our national anthem. And what a great job you did. In appreciation for your leadership skills and sharing your musical talent with us tonight, I award you this letter of recognition. Reagan V. Mayer, Ontario County Sheriff's Office, and Eladio E. Martinez, Penn PD, both please come forward. From the start of this academy, we were at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Being essential employees meant the academy must continue. However, to prevent the introduction of the virus into the classroom, several precautions were taken to include a daily temperature log, sanitizing all desks, door handles, and other touchable surfaces. In addition, masks were required when not social distancing. Students were advised to avoid large gatherings when on and off duty. Reagan Mayer was appointed to take and log all temperatures, while Eladio Martinez worked each day to sanitize the hard surfaces throughout the academy building. All desks and personal items were sanitized twice daily by each student, and it paid off. During the 5 months together at the academy, no student had a cold, flu, or most of all, COVID-19. Thank you, Deputy Mayor and Officer Martinez. You both went above and beyond your required duties, but I should not forget the other 11 students for their diligence and hard work in preventing a potentially deadly virus. In appreciation for your unselfish and exemplary work in ensuring the health and wellness of your class, I award you this letter of recognition. And now it's time to present the highest overall award. This award is presented to the student with the highest overall final cumulative grade in academics, physical fitness, firearms, and proficiency training. I would like Wayne County Sheriff Barry Verts, Chairman of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Training Committee, to come forward and make the presentation. The top overall student in class 2021 is
Reagan Mayer, Ontario County Sheriff's Office.
Congratulations, Deputy Mayor. Our last award tonight is the Galen J. Heron Memorial Award for Class 2021. This plaque will hang proudly in the Academy atrium for all to see. This award is given annually to the recruit who exemplifies Mr. and Mrs. George Galen's son's dedication to pursuing and achieving professional competence. Mr. George Heron is unable to be here with us tonight. However, we are fortunate to have Galen Heron's brother, Kevin, with us to present the award. Would Mr. Kevin Heron please come forward as I read the plaque? This is a plaque that we keep up here, whoever wins it. And we'll hang it at the Academy wall. It's Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy Plateau of Excellence Award in memory of Galen Jeffrey Heron. From early adulthood, Galen admired nearly all aspects of law enforcement. He pursued and achieved professional competence therein and contributed to its integrity throughout the Finger Lakes region. A graduate of Monroe Community College, Galen attended the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy in the year 2000. Graduating as class valedictorian, while en route to his assigned tour of duty, Monroe County Deputy Sheriff Galen Heron was struck head-on by a vehicle traveling the wrong direction on Interstate Highway 590. Deputy Heron did not survive the crash, but will be forever remembered for his unbridled energy and desire to excel in any job he performed. He was generally respected by fellow law enforcement officers for his unbending ethics and principles, his dedication to the community he served, and for helping friends and associates in time of need. He was admired for his pride in upholding family values and traditions, and was a true patriot in his constant quest for professional excellence. End of watch, December 3rd, 2005. I would ask Kevin Heron if he could read the person receiving this tonight.
Riley J. Burke, please step forward.
Let's do that. I would now ask that Mr. Kevin Heron say a few words.
Thank you, Director. On behalf of my father, who wasn't able to make it tonight, he wanted to extend his congratulations to all of the cadets, deputies and officers, and as well as the family members and friends that are here to support you in your graduation tonight. Your profession is one that is, I believe, noble, and at the same time, you didn't get here alone. So it's a teamwork type of an approach, and that's what my brother stood for most. He loved his job. He loved his fellow officers, and it's hard to believe, but it'll be 16 years this December that we lost him. With that said, not a day goes by that we don't appreciate everything that law enforcement does for us. So just take that with you as you move forward. On behalf of my family, everybody, including my wife who's here, congratulations, Riley. Godspeed.
Thank you, Mr. Heron, for those words. Now, the presentation of certificates that we all came here to see tonight. And please feel free to come down forward for the photos, but please remember, allow spacing for social distancing. And you can come right down in the pit if you'd like. The certificates will be presented by the sponsoring agency head with a moment given for photographs. I will be calling each agency head to come forward and present their certificates to their newest deputies and police officers. Law enforcement has many strong traditions, including family. Many students here tonight have close relatives or friends that are active or retired law enforcement members. In keeping with our tradition, I would be calling upon them to stand as a sponsor on the right side of the stage over where the chairs are as the graduates are presented with their certificates. Unfortunately, social distancing does not allow us for our law enforcement guests to stand here amongst us and still be able to have social distancing. Would Sheriff Brian Schenk, Cayuga County Sheriff's Office, please come forward? Mark J. Dushatinsky, Cayuga County Sheriff's Office. Thank you, Sheriff. Next, would Sheriff Thomas Doherty, Livingston County Sheriff's Office, please come forward? Bradley H. Little, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Caleb A. Nellis, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Jason R. Page, Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Thank you, Sheriff. Sheriff Kevin Henderson, Ontario County Sheriff's Office, please come forward. Riley J. Burke, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Reagan V. Mayer, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Before our next candidate, I'd like to ask Officer Matt Pickey of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office to come forward to the right. Colin J. McGuigan, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Jordan A. Miller, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Kyle C. Meek, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. Thanks, Sheriff. Chief Thomas Dunham, Penn Yan Police Department, please come forward. Additionally, Yates County Corrections Officer Etta Garcia, please come forward. Ms. Garcia is the mother of our next graduate. And please meet us on the right side of the stage. Thank you. Yeah, you have to stay there. Our next candidate, Eladio E. Martinez, Penny Ann Police Department. Thank you, Chief. Chief Jason Godley, Waterloo Police Department, please come forward. Additionally, would retired police officer Robert Steele come forward? Officer Steele is the father of our next graduate and retired from the Geneva Police Department. Daniel J. Steele, Waterloo Police Department. Thank you, Chief. Would Chief Deputy Kip Goodman, Seneca County Sheriff's Office, please come forward? Additionally, would the following person also come forward to the right side of the stage? Deputy Chris Cousin, Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Cousin is a good friend of our next graduate. John R. Babcock, Seneca County Sheriff's Office. And Brianna P. Shepard, Seneca County Sheriff's Office. Except for our graduating class, could we all rise and recognize our newest graduates of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy, Class 2021. Congratulations. Thank you. You can be seated now. Deputy Little, you weren't smiling. Ladies and gentlemen, we would not be in this beautiful facility tonight if it wasn't for a very special person who is seated here with us this evening. Let me reintroduce the Executive Director of the Sands Family Foundation and the Director of the CMAC Board and Friends of CMAC, Jenny Clark.
I promise to be very, very brief because the only thing standing between you all celebrating is me, and I promise I will make it very brief. I want to just tell you a quick little story, something that you might take with you as you leave. I was a little girl. My grandfather was a deputy sheriff at the Yates County Sheriff's Department. In fact, he reported into Ron Spike's father, George. And I remember as a little girl, I was so proud of my grandfather. And I would go visit, he was in Yates County, and I would visit usually every Sunday. We'd go over and have dinner with my grandparents. And one of my fondest memories was being able to go to the Seneca County farm, or Seneca Farms, get him a chocolate milkshake and take it down to him. He worked the desk. And I really, truly was so proud of my grandfather. I would ask him so many questions about what he did, how he did it. And I would just share with you, many have said this before, that as you go out and as you serve our community, think about the children. Think about those that you can influence, the pride that you can give them, the respect that you can teach them. Our children need that today in the way the world is, and you all have a great opportunity to do that in addition to serving your community. So thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks for taking this on. The 13 of you that have decided to come forward and serve our communities, it's a great honor. And to all the parents and family members, congratulations. Without your leadership, without your determination, your family here wouldn't be here. So thank you so much for all that you do. Go out, enjoy, and serve your community and take care of kids if you can along the way. Thanks.
And thank you, Ms. Clark. Chocolate milkshakes, that's my favorite. It's a good thing Bradley Little didn't know that. I'd be with 300 pounds. At this time, I would like to call upon Sheriff Barry Virts, our chairman of our training committee, for some closing remarks. Mr. Chairman?
Now, Jenny said she was going to be brief. To your recruits, look at Tom Doherty's eyes right now. I will be brief. Good evening. The Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy is a regional law enforcement academy operated in an effort of cooperation and collaboration by the police departments and sheriff's offices from the counties of Cayuga, Livingston, Ontario, Seneca, Wayne, and Yates. The Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy Training Excellence started in 1956 and continues to be stronger and better every year. It is my pleasure as the chairman of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy, our member agencies, the police chiefs, sheriffs, and command officers here tonight, that we welcome you, the family, friends, and loved ones, to witness and enjoy tonight's Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy graduation. Again, good evening, and we welcome all of you. I want to thank this year's Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy Director, David Chrysler, for overseeing our Academy training curriculum, the training sites, and the ongoing coordination and communications on the progress of our sponsored police officer recruits. Thank you to the Academy Assistant Directors, Ontario County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Mark Taylor, and Wayne County Sheriff's Office Craig Pignotti for your assistance to Director Chrysler and your guidance and expertise to the recruits. Both served as counselors to the recruits by sharing their expertise, wisdom, and a soft ear to the police officer recruits throughout the academy. Thank you both very much. To the academy instructor and field training officers, thank you for your dedication, professionalism, patience, and commitment to our graduating police officers. Thank you to the government of Ontario County for the use of Ontario County Hopewell Training Center, and to Constellation Brands Marvin Sands Performing Arts Center for the wonderful venue tonight. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, the ushers over here. Thank you very much for your work. Now, with capability, commitment, and enthusiasm, these Finger Lakes law enforcement police officer graduates will protect, serve, and be accountable to the respective law enforcement agencies and the communities they will serve. Tonight's graduation is a product of hard work, scheduling, coordination, and some challenges along the way. This year, as last year, has been and continues to have its twists, turns, zigs, and zags due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Our Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy agency members, Director Chrysler, our class counselors, Sergeant Taylor and Pignotti, all of our instructors had to rethink, reposition, and make several adjustments with facial covering, disinfecting the classroom and training areas, applying social distancing to keep our police officer recruits in the classrooms, and to modify the training sections that required some hands-on contact. I would like to thank our training instructors and the member agencies for their patience and their ability to continually rise to the occasion in this COVID-19 pandemic, so these recruits receive the classroom instruction and the reality-based training needed to fulfill the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, and the Municipal Police Training Council requirements to become a police officer graduate and to be a police officer after tonight. The Academy was able this year to present the significant other training night by Cattaraugus County Sheriff Tim Wickham. Sheriff Wickham shared his experience that have molded his leadership and trained us to take care of the needs of our deputy sheriffs and police officers that experience more tragedy and stress in a month than most people experience in a lifetime. Policing today in this continued COVID-19 pandemic, with the urban outcry in parts of our nation and region to defund the police, to restrict police authority, to cut police budgets, and experiencing the day-to-day stress of the tasks, duties, and functions required by a police officer do wear on everyone in our industry. To our graduate recruits, your devotion and professionalism to protecting and serving the people of your community will be demanding and difficult work, but your methodical work gives your residents the confidence to be safe and secure in their homes, at work, and in their travel. Your duty will be critical to the quality of life to your communities as the many threats to public safety, from illegal drug sales and abuse, domestic violence, highway safety, and many other criminal activities and behavior that deteriorate and affect the quality of our lives in all our communities. You will witness appalling criminal behavior that victimizes others with despicable acts of violence, abuse, and greed. You will see more sorrow and misery in a month than, again, most people will see in a lifetime. You need to monitor your own mental well-being. Seek help when needed. None of us are exempt from the buildup of violence, abuse, and tragedies we witness. None of us are exempt to that. We all occasionally need to right ourselves, no matter what our occupation is. A healthy person, physically and mentally, are the most positive and productive workers. Keep yourself that way, please. Do not be afraid to discuss your reservations or worries with what is bothering you with a mentoring peer or by reaching out to your agency's Employees Assistance Program. Your positive attitude and mental health is so very important in today's policing world of public scrutiny. Yes, we are at all times where all of us, our actions, even the most trivial actions, are videoed and picked apart. To keep up with the ever-changing dynamics of public safety, you must work in concert with other collaborators to protect and serve your residents, restore justice to victims, make our roadways safer, rid our communities of drug dealers and drug abuse, and in providing public safety to your communities as seamless as possible. Throughout your career, excellence, hard work, and personal integrity will be the standard you must expect of yourself and those you work with. Fairness and respect is paramount with every contact you have. Fairness and respect is paramount with every contact you have. Your integrity is the most important characteristic trait you have as a person. Be gracious, respectful, honest, trustworthy, responsible, helpful, patient, and show empathy. You define your integrity. You must pledge your loyalty, dedication, and professionalism to the agency you work for and the residents of that community that depend on you. With everything said here tonight, be aware of your actions on and off duty. Someone is always watching, most likely videotaping you. Your individual actions reflect on how every law enforcement officer in your respective agency and how every law enforcement officer in your region and in your area is graded and regarded, good and bad. You have been trained to act and react with professionalism, empathy, and compassion, no matter one's ethnic race, creed, religion, or color. A privilege and great honor has been bestowed on you tonight as a graduate of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy to be a certified police officer. Your dedication and hard work throughout the academy has provided you with a special privilege and honor. Throughout your career, never forget or lose the feeling that you have right now. It took a lot of steps to get here. Don't forget that. You've worked hard and you've earned every bit of it. But tonight is not the end, Your journey will continue as you need to learn, study, and train to enhance your skills in the ever-changing law enforcement profession. Be proud of what you have accomplished. Nevertheless, this is only the start. This is only the start of your career. Never stop learning. Never stop showing empathy. Be safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much. You've deserved this graduation, and you deserve to be a police officer with all of us. Thank you.
Sheriff Ertz, Sheriff Henderson, if you come forward. If I could ask retired Lieutenant Tate Colburn to come forward.
What's that look for? So he has a look like, what's going on here? All right? So it's kind of like when you walked up through here, you graduating police officers, that silence. No matter what your rank is going on, when a boss or somebody calls you up, it's like you're running that reel through your head. Did I do it right? Did I do it good? What did I do? That's what the lieutenant's thinking right now. Right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
In recognition of your outstanding excellence, honoring Lieutenant Tate Colburn, Ontario County Sheriff's Office. With great honor, we, the members of the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Training Committee, present this plaque in recognition of your hard work and dedication towards the advancement of firearms education and use of force in the law enforcement community. 1983 to 2021, presented August 30th, 2021 by Sheriff Barry Verts, Chairman, Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Training Academy. Tate, you have done an absolute fabulous job over the years. We appreciate it. We appreciate your family continuing the law enforcement tradition and serving. You have been honorable in everything that you have done.
So something about Lieutenant Colburn. He stands up here. Sam Colburn, investigator Sam Colburn, was one of his sons. He has another son here at the Sheriff's Office, Deputy Alex Colburn. Tate and I went to high school together. We kind of worked our careers throughout together. And when Tate retired, I told him I was very honored as the sheriff to present him his recognition, his credentials, and all the awards that he got. So as everybody said here tonight, the 13 that are sitting here, go out and do your jobs. Do it with dignity. Do it with honor. Remember empathy. As Jenny mentioned, you're going to touch the hearts of young kids throughout your career. So do what you're going to do best, and we have every faith in what you are going to be doing, and we wish you all the luck. You need to stay safe and rely on each other, and you're the men and women that are around you. So congratulations.
Family, friends, and guests, please stay seated as the dais relocates to the audience for a very special video produced for you by the graduating class 2021. If I could invite the dais down to your right, and we've got chairs marked up there about 1/3 of the way.
Welcome, everyone, to the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy Class of 2021 graduation. On behalf of our chairman, Sheriff Barry Verts, the FLLEA Training Committee, and myself, Dave Chrysler, Director of Training, I wish all of you a heartfelt thank you for the support and encouragement you gave the class over the last 5 to 7 months of Academy training. A little about the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy. One of several training academies throughout New York State, it falls under the umbrella of the Division of Criminal Justice Services. FLLEA is supported by the county sheriffs and the chiefs of police throughout the 6 counties of the Finger Lakes. Those attending this academy have been selected and hired by their supporting agency. For 5 of the 7 months of training, the recruit officers are exposed to vigorous physical training. They are given classes on the penal law, the criminal procedure law, vehicle and traffic law, environmental conservation law, and a myriad of other job-related courses. Additionally, they receive practical exercises and skill training and complete 8 more weeks of field training to demonstrate the skills they have learned here at the Academy. Now completed, they are ready to graduate. To help explain all of this, and maybe to entertain you a bit, the class of 2021, under the direction of Recruit Deputy Riley Burke, has put this video together, and I think you will find it quite entertaining. Again, thank you for your continued support, and now let me introduce the class of 2021.
My name is Colin Wiggin with the Ontario County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a police officer to help people and better my community. And my favorite part about the academy has been the emergency vehicle operations.
My name is Jason Page from the Livingston County Sheriff's Office, and I became a police officer because I want to be the first to show up when people need it the most. I'd say my favorite part of the academy so far has been the firing range.
Mark Dushetinsky with the Kew County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a cop because I wanted to strengthen the bind between the law enforcement community and my community that I live in. My favorite part of the academy was firearms.
There you go.
My name is Dan Steele with the Waterloo Police Department. I wanted to be a police officer to help better my community, and my favorite part of the academy was EVOC.
Deputy Kyle Meek with the Ontario County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a police officer to be better, set a good example for my kids, and to help out my community. My favorite part about the academy so far has been the range.
My name is Caleb Nelson with the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a police officer because every day is not the same. You don't know what you're going to roll up onto. And my favorite part of the academy so far is reality-based training.
My name is Eladio Martinez from Peña Police Department. I wanted to become a cop because I want to make my family proud and I want to serve those in need. My favorite part of the academy has been EVOC. I like to drive fast.
My name is Brad Little. I'm from the Livingston County Sheriff's Department, and the #1 reason I wanted to be a police officer was to better the community, help out, and obviously you always want to drive fast. And my favorite part of the academy so far is the EVOC.
You get to your 9th step, you're going to take seriously small.
My name is Bree Shepard. I'm with the Seneca County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a police officer so I could be one of the first to help and to better improve my community. My favorite part of the academy was emergency vehicle operations.
I am Deputy John Babcock with the Seneca County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a deputy sheriff to better my community, and no 2 days will be the same. I think my favorite part of the academy so far has been emergency vehicle operations.
My name is Jordan Miller with the Ontario County Sheriff's Office. I want to be a police officer to be a good role model for friends and family. And my favorite part of the academy so far is EVOC.
All right, get down, back.
Through the bag, hit the bag. Punch the bag.
Hi, my name is Riley Burke with the Ontario County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to become a deputy sheriff because I wanted to better my community and I wanted a career that was going to challenge me. And I think my favorite part of the academy so far has been firearms.
I work for the Ontario County Sheriff's Office. I wanted to be a police officer so that I could make a difference in people's lives and help my community. And my favorite part of the academy was PT and DT because I'm very competitive.
Thank you, Peter Cheney, and thank you for the family, friends, and police executives that came tonight. It's something I think our class really deserves. So have a good night and be safe out there.